Just got orders to NSA Mid-South? Well, before you buy a home, rent a home, or even choose a community, there are some costs that you need to know about that your BAH may not even cover. So in this video, we're going to cover the cost of living in the neighborhoods that are nearest NSA Mid-South. We're going to talk about the housing costs, the utility costs, and so much more. Hey y'all, I'm Sondretta Green, Air Force retired veteran, military relocations realtor, helping unaccompanied and accompanied military members relocate to NSA Mid-South. Now let's get started. Number one, Millington, the median house price. Now, when we talk about the median house price, you have the lowest cost and the highest cost. The median is the one right in the middle. So the median is $295,000, and it's the most affordable option, and it is a great opportunity for VA buyers. Then we have Bartlett. The median house price is between $310,000 and $325,000. Now, there are homes that are cheaper, but we're talking about the ones in the middle. And in Bartlett, there's a strong demand and established neighborhoods. Then we have Munford. The median home price is $387,000, and it's growing rapidly. Newer housing inventory as well. Munford has a lot of new homes, and it's more rural feel too for those that want that off the beaten path. Now, like I said, there's houses that are cheaper than $387,000. Then Atoka, the median housing price is $418,000 to $448,000. Now, I did just sell a home there last year to some buyers, some military buyers, and their price was $287,000. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, dining room, and all of that. So, like I said, the prices will vary. And this is the fastest appreciating market and 20% growth year over year. So that's a great thing. And then the average rental cost in Millington, a 1-bedroom is between $1,100 to $1,200, 2-bedroom $1,200, almost $1,300 to $1,296 up to $1,308, and then a 3-bedroom home is $1,530 a month. And then that's in Millington. And then the average rental in Atoka is between $1,950 and $2,000. So one of the key points is Millington rents run roughly 19 to 30% below the national average, making it one of the most affordable places to live near NSA Mid-South. So now we're going to I have the BAH chart in the description, so you can pull that up. And you can pretty much get that on any military website, but I have it here specifically for you. But now we're going to kind of compare your BAH to what we just discussed. So let's look at this information. So an E4 with dependents, BAH is $1,992. And so that would roughly help you to afford a 2 to 3-bedroom rental or a starter home with a VA loan. And then an E6 with dependents is $2,319 BAH. And you could comfortably buy a home in Millington and in Munford. And then an O3 with dependents is $2,352. And that could stretch you into Bartlett and the Atoka area. So for an example here, a $295,000 home at a 6.5% interest rate is approximately $1,865 a month. That's with the principal. So that's what your monthly note is plus the interest. And then it's not necessarily including the taxes. So that's just with the principal and the interest. And then the taxes, that would add on to that as well. So to take you over $2,000 a month. Now, if you're planning a move to NSA Mid-South, go ahead. I have a relocations guide in the description or in the pinned comments. You can grab that. It's going to talk about the community, talk about Memphis, talk about Millington, and just tell you a lot about the community as you relocate here. So let's get back to it. Point number 2, groceries and everyday expenses. Yes, this is where the rubber meets the road. So let's check out this information. Monthly grocery cost for a single person is between $400 to $536 a month. And then a family of 4, $800 to $1,100 a month. And then dining out per month could be anywhere between $298 a month per person. And then everyday prices for bread is between $2.78 and up to $4.05. And then milk, we know all of these prices have gone up. $4.69 a gallon, and then eggs $3.22 a gallon. So the sales tax in Tipton County and Shelby County, so Atoka and Munford would be considered Tipton County, and Shelby County would be considered Bartlett and Millington. So the sales tax is anywhere from 9.25 to 9.75, and that just varies. Many family members only focus on housing costs, but groceries, dining out, and everyday spending can easily add up to another $1,000 or more to your monthly budget. But as we know, that's where your BAS, it will cover that. So if you're planning to move to Tennessee, I do videos every week for military members to help them understand about relocating, to give them tips about housing, home tours, and so many great things to help you before you relocate here to NSA Mid-South. So go ahead and subscribe so that you can be abreast on all of my videos as they come out and be educated and informed. Now let's get back to it. Point number 3, utilities and internet costs. In Shelby County and most of Tipton County, but Tipton County does vary, but in Shelby County, it is MLG&W, that's Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. So the utility costs would average monthly bill between $146 to $189. And then your summer bills are going to be a lot higher, ranging from $200 to $250. But we also have those winter snaps as well. A lot of ice storms, and it gets cold here, so the bill will definitely shoot up if you're cold nature like me in the wintertime. And then your average internet bill is between $50 to $80, and it all depends on your speed and stuff like that. So we have AT&T Fiber and Xfinity. Now, Tennessee summers are no joke. Many families are surprised by how much their electric bill increases in the months of July and August. Point number 4, commuting costs. So let's start with the one that's closest to the base, Millington. As you know, NSA Mid-South is located in Millington, Tennessee. So Millington averages between a 5 to 10 minute drive to the base, and then Munford between 15 to 20 minutes. Atoka and Munford are right next door, so 15 to 20 minutes. And then Bartlett, 25 to 35 minutes. And then a lot of the single sailors, they definitely want to be near the nightlife. And so that would be downtown Memphis, 35 to 40 minutes. So the gas cost in the Memphis area is between $2.56 to $3.75 a gallon. But that's just the average. We know that gas has gone up to even $4.30 here lately. So it just depends on where you get it at. And then monthly gas estimates can be anywhere between $30 to $50, and Atoka $60 to $90, and then Bartlett between $100 to $150. So that's depending on the type of SUV or truck or vehicle that you drive. So as we know, the farthest you live from the base, the more money you are spending every month on gas, vehicle maintenance, and your time as well. So if you're trying to decide whether to live in Munford, Atoka, or Bartlett, well, go ahead and download my relocations guide. And you can also book a free home buyer strategy call, and I'll help you build your personalized relocations plan before you get here. Point number 5, hidden costs that your BAH doesn't even show. So let's dive into these numbers. Property tax. Millington property tax is very low. It's between $734 to $1,504 a year. This is very low. And then Atoka and Munford goes up a little higher, between $1,399 a year up to $1,429 a year. And then Bartlett is $2,500 or higher a year. So in Tipton County, it's Atoka and Munford is going to be a lot lower than in Bartlett, and as you get on into the Memphis area. Millington is considered Shelby County, and so is Bartlett. So Tipton County taxes are significantly lower than Shelby County. And then next we have these HOA fees. Millington often has no HOA fees, but if you're living in some of the newer communities, they will have HOA fees. And Bartlett, HOA fees are common, between $100 to over $300 a month. And then homeowners insurance. For a $200,000 home, you're looking at roughly about $123 a month. So that's in addition to your principal payment. And for a $300,000 to $400,000 home, you're looking at between $155 to $238 a month. Now let's look at some of the PCS costs that a lot of times you may not even think about. And a lot of it is not covered until you file that travel voucher. So your PCS costs, such as your utility deposits, between $100 and $300. Pet deposits, if you're renting, between pet deposit if you're renting, between $250 to $500. And then home setup costs could be anywhere between $500 to $2,000. Could be security systems, could be just whatever, you name it. Moving costs, extra costs. I know the military, they move you, but there's a lot of times some additional costs that is not reimbursable. But you can save those receipts and file them for your taxes as well. So unreimbursed moving costs, $1,000 to $4,000. So these are expenses that catch military families off guard because none of them show up in your BAH calculation. So let's do a quick comparison, a quick recap of the areas that we covered. So we have Millington. You have the median housing is $295. The rent is $1,530, roughly the average. And then the commute, 5 to 10 minutes. And then it has low taxes and often no HOA. And then the gas cost is going to be lower. Then we have Atoka home median between $387,000 up to $418,000. Like I said, you can get some houses less than that amount, but this is the median. The rent is between $1,950 and $2,000 a month. The commute is between 15 to 20 minutes, and it has low tax, moderate gas costs. Then we have Bartlett. The home prices are between $310,000 up to $325,000. The rent is roughly between $1,700 to $2,100 a month, and your commute is between 25 to 35 minutes. You're going to have higher taxes, and the HOAs are very common there. And then they have the highest gas costs because, of course, you're going to be commuting further. So the bottom line, your BAH covers your housing, your paycheck covers everything else. Like we said too, we have the BAS that covers your rations, your food, but that BAH is definitely going to cover your housing and the taxes and all the other fees. That's going to come out your paycheck. That's why understanding the full cost of living before PCSing is so important. So, can you afford to live near NSA Mid-South? Absolutely, you absolutely can. The key is choosing the right area based off your budget, your commute preference, and your lifestyle. So if you're relocating to NSA Mid-South, remember to go ahead and download my relocations guide. You can also book a one-on-one appointment with me, a free strategy session. My calendar link is in the description right there. You can go ahead and book a call with me, or there's 2 links below if you're relocating here, or if you're moving, there's one if you're selling a home and one if you're buying a home. You can go ahead and book those calls with me, a free home buyer or a free home seller strategy session. And my number is up there. So if you have a question, you'd like to give me a call, go ahead and give me a call, and you can book a free home buyer strategy session that way as well. And there's also a lot of videos. Maybe you just still need more information. You need a lot more information. There's a lot of videos. I'm going to put some videos at the end of this video right here, so you can go ahead and check out all my videos as much as you want. As a retired Air Force veteran and military relocations expert, I would be honored to help you have a smooth move as you relocate here to NSA Mid-South or as you leave. Have an amazingly awesome day. If you know anyone that's moving here, definitely share my information with them so I can assist them as well. Thank you for tuning into my channel, and I look forward to assisting you as you relocate to NSA Mid-South or from NSA Mid-South. Have an amazingly awesome day. Peace.